If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio. Here we go, women. Globally, the average woman is 5'3". Okay, that's tiny. That's the average woman as well. So that's like middle of the road. So there's like 50% that are going to be shorter than that, or you know what I'm saying. Technically not. There's going to be a most common height, which is probably 5'3", but there's going to be a lot of women shorter than that too. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about short guys and kind of quantifying the actual figures in terms of height, in terms of women, men, globally, certain select countries, etc. Because every single day I get a comment about, am I too short? What shall I do? I'm a short guy, what shall I do? And I get it, guys. I don't want to be in denial, okay? Like every single day on social media, you'll see a post about, is he 6 foot and above or something like that, or some girl will be like, if you're not 6 foot, don't talk to me, you know, that sort of shit. And it's kind of brutal, but one thing that you'll notice about all the women that are doing these videos is they're very young. Like, they're probably like 15 to 19 years old, okay? Like, there's a few immature women that are older that will say similar things, or they'll do it just because it's an acceptable trend on TikTok. But it's very much a high school mentality. I need to make a video on this soon, how people are stuck in, like, high school. And it kind of, like, high school is basically simp training. Like, it's very much real while you're at high school, and then a lot of shit just doesn't matter. It's like if you're 18 years old and you're already bald, like, it's social suicide, okay? But once you get to like 30, there's so many women that used to be like, bald guys are disgusting. And then like 10 years later, they're like, Jason Statham's the hottest guy in the world. Like, it just changes, okay? And it's the same with height. Like, height becomes less important to women as they get older. It's like men with looks. Men, like, if a man's 50 years old and he's looking for a partner, you know, men always want beauty, youth, and looks and whatever. But as we get older, we develop mentally, we develop empathy and stuff like that. And we might get to like 50 years old and we're looking around to, like, we've been divorced or whatever. And like, you see a guy's kept himself together. He's got a lot of options when it comes to women. He's looking for like a partner to move forward in this second phase of his life with. He's not necessarily looking for like a 21-year-old slut who wears a short skirt with massive tits, you know, like he would have been when he was like 25. He's looking for like a sophisticated woman that he might be like, yeah, she's not really my type, but we get on so well, and that's what I want to look for now. Like, that whole thing changes as you get older, and it changes with women too. So they might be 18 years old on TikTok being like, I want a guy who's 6 foot, earns 6 figures a year, and has a 6-inch dick or above, okay? That like 3 6s that they always talk about. Yeah, great, okay, yeah, good luck with that, okay, because that's a very rare find. There's not many guys that are going to be ticking those boxes, mainly the financial one, okay? That's probably the toughest one out of those lot to fix. The other two, you know, they can come naturally to a lot of different guys, but with the money as well, it's very, very difficult. So there's a lot of women out there who are kind of delusional, but then they'll get to like 27, 28 years old, and they're like, I've dated a lot of dickheads. I've had great sex with a good-looking guy with a big dick, but then he cheated on me. So they're like, okay, I value myself a little bit higher now. I've had my fun. I'm going to look for an intelligent guy. It used to be 6 foot. I'm going to bring that down to 5'9". You see what I mean? Like, they start to... It's not necessarily compromise, but they start to... Well, they are compromising, but they're only doing that because they're realizing that... the 6'4", hung like a horse, muscular guy with a ridiculously deep natural voice might be a dickhead. Might actually have low confidence, might be really insecure, might not be the best to hang around with, might have zero personality. Now, he could have one as well. Like, that's another stigma that we throw out there. If you're beautiful, you're stupid. It's like, it's not necessarily true, okay? But women do change over time, you know, they don't care as much. I've got plenty of examples in here as well that you guys are going to be able to see. But that high school mentality, you need to get rid of it, guys, okay? Like, things that got ingrained into your brain, like, oh, if you approach a woman, she's going to be like, fuck off, you're ugly, go away. When you get older, it's not going to happen, okay? A woman might actually be flattered that you bothered to come over. She might just say, no, sorry, I've got a boyfriend. It's not going to be as brutal as it was when you were 16 and all these girls thought they were the hot shit. Like, but I don't blame them. They were young, you know, it's just, it is what it is, okay? But what I've done is I've quantified this kind of like, it's not a myth, but men being short and it being a problem is blown way out of proportion. Okay, like it's not, I'm with you, it's not a myth. Okay, and quick disclaimer, I'm 6'2". Okay, so anybody who's like, oh, he's making this video to cope, to justify, it's a new thing now, cope mechanism. I'm 6'2", okay, I'm not struggling with height. Now for the guys who are short who have just said, oh, fuck this guy, I'm going to switch off, he's 6'2", how does he know? I didn't choose to be 6'2", okay, but I am in the men's industry. I do read the comments. I do care about what guys are going through. I try and come up with as many solutions as possible. And yeah, being 6'2", I might not be able to completely comprehend what you're going through, but I'm seeing it on a daily basis. I know guys that are shorter. I've seen guys that are like 5'3" getting beautiful women. I've got a lot of evidence to say that it's not really a problem, and there's so many areas of life. Like, there's a video I'm doing soon about mortgages and property. Once you quantify the figures, you go, it's not that profitable. There's I've done something else before. I can't remember what I did now, but when I actually break things down and show you guys the actual figures, a lot of people go, actually, yeah, I never thought about it like that. You know, that actually makes a lot more sense when you've explained it logically. And it's the same with height. Like, you see all this shit, you gotta be 6 foot, you gotta be 6 foot. But when you actually break down the numbers globally of like how tall men are on average and how tall women are on average, it's like, oh wow, yeah, I'm worrying about not nothing, but I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. That's what I want to say about height, okay? Is being bold good? You know, has its negatives, but at the same time, it's like a 5% drop in your appearance. If you bump up all the other areas, doesn't matter. Oh, is short bad? Yeah, it's not ideal, but is it the end of the world? Absolutely not. It's like a 5-10% drop in performance with women, whatever, like in terms of how well you're going to do with women on a global scale. But you tick all the other boxes in life, you make up for it. It's basically irrelevant, okay? Especially once you get past like 25 or whatever. It doesn't matter as much. But just to break this down and quantify the actual numbers, the average guy in the UK is 5'9", okay? The average guy in the US is 5'9". Canada, 5'10". When I lived there, they were pretty tall. Australia, 5'10.5". You know, a lot of hunks out in Australia, as girls always say. I don't know what that is. I don't know how they've pulled that off, but fair play. Asia, 5'7", okay? South America as a whole, 5'7". And I've just thrown in Spain as well. It's just like I know the UK is Europe, but I just thought I'd just grab like a traditional European country. The average man in Spain is 5'7". Okay, and the average height of men globally is 5'7.5". Okay, when you think about that, guys, 5'7.5" globally, and you look at Asia, South America, and Spain. Okay, where the reason I put something like Spain in as well is because they have really hot women. Okay, their women are beautiful. Now, South American women, beautiful. Asian women, beautiful. The guys in that region are 5'7" on average. Okay, so there's a lot of guys shorter than that as well. But the average guy is 5'7" across Asia, South America, and Spain. Just think about that, okay? So if you're like a 5'7" guy and you're like really disappointed in life, whatever, you've got Asia, South America, and Spain where you're like average height. So you're just considered average, completely normal, in the middle, no problem, okay? And so many men, this is what I'm saying, is like, yeah, you might live in Australia and you're 5'7" and you're pissed off because all the guys are really tall. I'm being serious. Probably move. Like, it's probably not the worst idea in the world to move, to go and live somewhere else. Like, you're just playing your cards, okay? It's like I've always said before, if you're like a multi-millionaire and you've got a Lamborghini and you live in Knightsbridge in London, or you live in LA, like Bel Air or something like that, you're just one of many. You might not stand out. Whereas if you went and lived in like, if you went and lived in, like, I don't know, Dubrovnik in Croatia or something like that, or you went and lived in like a poor part of Italy or something like that, not a poor part or something, but like Genoa or something like that, something that's not known as being unbelievably wealthy, or Genoa, that's what you got to say, haven't you? If you lived in these areas, then you're going to stand out a lot more, okay? Like, probably every woman in the area is like an option for you. Every guy in the area thinks you're the man. You can kind of enjoy your assets more. Whereas if you're in an area where everybody has the same car or better than you, it doesn't really have the same impact, right? And if you're a guy who's like 5'7" and you're trying to live in like the Netherlands, where the average guy is like 5'11", it's probably not going to help. It's probably not going to help you, okay? You're putting yourself among the wolves there. You're not giving yourself the best advantage. And to any guy who thinks that, any guy right now who's like, I don't find Spanish women, South American women, or Asian women remotely attractive, well, fuck. Like, Jesus, really? Because that's like 50% of the world's population. Maybe a little bit more with Asia included. That's a huge percentage of the world's population. You know, and then let's say the UK and the US are 5'9", okay? Globally, it's 7.5 on average. There's plenty of places to go. Okay, there's plenty of places to go. But like I said, if you're like a 5'7" guy and you don't find Asian women, South American women, or Spanish women attractive, I mean, that's quite a difficult play, okay? And that's not the only regions. Like, there's so many more that I've broken down on here. And I mean, let's move into women now, okay? And the reason I'm making this video, guys, just to clarify, is to show you there's always an option. Like, I love this in life, that you come to like an obstacle and you go, should I go around, under, over? Should I go through it? Like, or should I build a ladder and just climb it? Like, there's always an option around. Like, whether it's business, fitness, whatever, like life setup, like rearranging the hours of your day to fit in better with what you're trying to achieve. Like, there's always a way around whatever you're trying to achieve, okay? And if you're a guy who's shorter, again, there's millions of options. Like, here we go, women. Globally, the average woman is 5'3". Okay, that's tiny. That's the average woman as well. So that's like middle of the road. So there's like 50% that are going to be shorter than that, or you know what I'm saying. Technically, not. There's going to be a most common height, which is probably 5'3", but there's going to be a lot of women shorter than that too. Now, on average in Europe, women are 5'6". Okay, so if you're into white women and you're 5'7", you're an inch taller without shoes on than that woman. She puts heels on, you put a decent shoe on with, I don't know, like a 2-inch heel. Roughly going to be the same height. Okay, it's blown so out of proportion. Like, people think the woman's going to be like towering up here. It's like, it's not going to be the case. Hispanic women, so like Latinas, 5'1". I mean, if you don't find Latinas attractive, then you're in a very rare bracket. Now, obviously, there's going to be guys out there that prefer other types of women, like I prefer black women. But there's plenty of beautiful, like 4'11", 5'1" Hispanic women or Latina women that I would not say no to, okay? They just, you're crazy if you think there's not. Now, even like the tallest women globally are in the Netherlands. They're like 5'6.5", 5'7". The same with like Latvia. That's not that tall. If they're like the tallest women on average globally, and they're like on average 5'6", 5'7", that's not that tall. If you're like a 5'7" guy and you're getting like shit on in places like Canada and the US, and they're like, oh, I want a guy who's 6 foot tall. Like, so the tallest women globally in the Netherlands, like 5'6", Latvia 5'7", whatever. Like, they're around about that height. I mean, that's not, you're still going to be taller than the average woman on the street. I don't see it as a bigger problem as most people think. Now, in Asia, the average woman is 5 foot tall. So you've got Latina women and Asian women all around 5 foot and 5'1". You've got the choice of like 1 billion women there. Probably a little bit less if we actually do the maths properly. It's probably like half a billion women. 500 million women to choose from that are all like shorter than you. Now, I know that's average. I've like broken it down a little bit more than that. But even if it was like 100 million women that are all shorter than you, there's still a ton of options, guys. Still an absolute ton. And if you make the best of yourself, like guys always say, oh, I'm 5'7", my life's over. Like, if you're a 5'7" guy and let's go shorter. If you're a 5'4" guy and you're wealthy, you're educated, you're somebody I can sit with and have a chat with, and I'm like, damn, this guy's like high level. If you're like dressing well, great hygiene, you've made the best of yourself, low body fat, like you've got in the gym and you look as jacked as you can look for your height, it looks proportionate, it looks fantastic, and you've like kept like good health, you don't have high water retention, like you've got good cheekbones and a jawline. If you've got great assets on top of that, there is no way a guy who is like 6'5", handsome, big dick, well built, but unambitious, unmotivated, stupid, etc., is getting better women than you. Like, he's going to get attention on the street. Yeah, he's going to get sex, okay, without putting a lot of effort in. He's not going to get a better woman than you long term. He's just not, okay? Like, anybody can go fishing and catch a big fish once, but over the period of a year, the best fisherman is going to catch the most and the biggest, etc., because they just know what they're doing. Like, any guy can get one hot woman once, but actually getting that woman to stay with you and be your partner, because there's plenty of like tall, good-looking guys out there that are getting dumped because they've just got no ambition. Okay, there's plenty of them out there. So everybody has this, like, I know it's easy, oh, you're 6'2", it's easy for you to say, but I know so many guys that are like 5'4", multi-millionaires, dress really well, super intelligent, and they've got like a banging missus, okay? It happens all the time. Now, I think Venezuela have the most Miss Universes of all time. The average height of women in Venezuela is 5'2". So the most beautiful women on the planet, the average one is 5'2". Okay, now the Miss Universes are going to be taller, I know, but the looks are still going to be there. Okay, so 5'2". And just to add to that, the average Venezuelan man is 5'8". So if you're like a 5'7", 5'8" guy, the average guy in Venezuela is like 5'8". If you go over there with a ton of wealth, which a lot of them don't have, you're probably taking one back with you. Do you know what I mean? You're probably sleeping with like a potential Miss Universe if she was a bit taller. Like there's always options. The average Nigerian woman is 5'1". The average Malaysian woman is 5'1". The average Somalian and Ethiopian woman is 5'1". If you don't think Somalian and Eritrean women are stunning, you're crazy. Like, obviously there's going to be some like ugly ones, whatever, like there is in every race, but I have met some of the most beautiful women in the world who are Somalian and Ethiopian. They're unbelievable. They've got like a real distinct look about them. Sri Lankan women, the average Sri Lankan woman is 5 foot tall. If you don't think Sri Lankan women are beautiful, you're crazy again, because they're unbelievable. There's like some dark-skinned Sri Lankan women in Toronto. They might be everywhere, right? But when I was in Toronto, I was seeing them all the time. They're stunning, but it's like really different. It's like almost Aborigine, but with like smaller noses. It's really cool to see. It's like dark-skinned Indian women. I find them beautiful. Bolivian and Peruvian women, 5 foot tall. Indian women, 5 foot tall. I mean, some of the most beautiful women on planet Earth are Indian. Bahrain and Philippines, 4'10". Like, I think there was a Miss World or something that was from the Philippines as well. I know she was taller. She's probably like 5'6", 5'7". But they've got some unbelievable genetics there. Do you know what I mean, guys? And just to, if you're more of a traditional guy and you like women from like Italy, Spain, Sweden, like Mexican women or US women, let me just go through this. Italian women, 5'4". Okay? Some of the most beautiful women that have ever lived are Italian. They're like, a lot of models are Italian, 5'4". Spanish women, 5'3" on average. Again, tiny. Swedish women, everyone thinks, tall, beautiful, blonde model, 5'5". Again, tiny. Mexican women, some of the most beautiful features, beautiful bodies, 5'2". And the average woman in the US, 5'4". I don't see a major problem there, guys. Now, if you're a guy who's like 5'1", and you're going, fuck you, Chris, like I'm smaller than all these heights. Again, like I said, there's like, yeah, your options do become more limited. Like a taller woman will date you. Like you look at Kevin Hart, he's always with tall women, whatever. And like he's a superstar, he's a celebrity, he's famous. It's different. I get it. But if you are a guy who's like 5'1", the average height of a woman in Asia is 5 foot tall. Now, if you're not into Asian women, average Nigerian woman is 5'1", Malaysian 5'1", Somalian and Eritrean 5'1", Sri Lankan 5 foot, Bolivian 5 foot, Peruvian 5 foot, Indian 5 foot, Bahrain, Philippines 4'10". there's a ton of options. Like, the majority of the female population on this planet are under, like, I know they say the average is 5'3", but but like with Asia, it just drags it down like so much shorter, okay? And like if 5'3" is the average, like I don't think any guy should be worried, okay? I don't think any guy should be worried at all. I just think there's a massive myth. Like, oh, I want a guy who's 6 foot plus. It's like, love, you're 4'11". What are you talking about? Like, she's gonna be happy with a wealthy 5'7" guy. Like, trust me, it's a lot of it is a high school pipe dream. It's a lot of young girls talking bollocks. Okay, if you went and found a 5'4" Italian woman and you were like 5'8", successful, handsome guy, in shape, low percentage body fat, because you've worked on yourself, you still have to earn it. Okay. These women are a little bit more sophisticated. They're gonna be like, yeah, he's a great man. That's who I want in my life. They're not worried about, oh, is he really tall with big feet? This is like a high school American US type of thing, okay? We're doing it in the UK now as well. Like the whole Cardi B thing when girls are like, oh, if he's broke, he's not getting any pussy. Like, they're all like 16, 17, 18 years old. They're not at that level yet, okay? Like, think what we were like at like 18. I just wanted the most beautiful woman in the world with a huge pair of tits, a fat ass, tiny waist, tiny little pussy, great sex. Like, she wanted to have sex 24/7. It's not going to happen. It's just not realistic. You're looking for the world's greatest ever porn star. It's just not a plausible thing. And then as you get older, you go, okay, I want a woman with these qualities. Like, women do the same, okay? So it's very much a high school mentality. But if I looked at some women that are like considered globally beautiful. Madison Beer is like considered one of the best looking women in the world right now. She's only like 5'4". I had a look at her boyfriend. His name was Jack, and he was 5'8". So he was 5'8". She was 5'4" when they were together. I mean, like, you'd expect her to be with some like 6'4" Chad looking guy. Like, it wasn't the case. Megan Fox is only like 5'4". The Miss Universe from the Philippines, there, guy, I wrote it down. She was 5'8". 2 Miss Universe winners from the US, 5'5.5". Okay, so not that tall at all. The average Victoria's Secret model is 5'9", and they're like top of the level. Okay, I think everybody would agree. Like, Victoria's Secret models and Miss Universes, well, definitely Victoria's Secret models are considered like the optimum. Okay, like there's women that are hotter. Like, I prefer curvier women than the Victoria's Secret models, but they are considered like on a global scale. Like, most guys would say, oh, she's the hottest, that's my ideal type, whatever. It's almost, that universal type. And the average Victoria's Secret model is 5'9". So if that's like the tallest, hottest women and they're still only 5'9", there's so much underneath that where the average woman isn't walking around at 5'9" with 6-inch heels on looking like an Amazonian. Because that's what a lot of these Victoria's Secret models are. They're like Amazonian women, okay? It's just so rare. And then you've got, like, one of the Victoria's Secret models that I think is unbelievable is Lorena Ray. She's like 5'9", 27 years old. I don't know why I wrote that down, actually, 27 years old. I think I'm trying to work out whether I can smash or not. 27 years old, yeah, 5'9". She's absolutely stunning. Like, she's quite slinky. Like, I prefer curvier women, but when a woman is like slinky, like when she's got like long, thin limbs, like her legs and her arms are just like long and thin, but then she's got like curves, like her hips are slightly wider, she's got like a decent pair of boobs, like the arse actually sticks out a little bit. When a woman has like the combination of everything, it's pretty crazy. When they're like slim but thick at the same time, like, I find that pretty crazy. And she's like 5'9", like I said, and she's like one of the hottest women globally. She's dated Leonardo DiCaprio, and I found a picture of as well as one of her like most recent boyfriends. He looks like he's 5'9", 5'10". Okay, so, and then there's Jasmine Tookes, I think that's how you say her name. One of like the most beautiful women of all time. She's like 5'7". Husband is 5'8". Listen to this, right? Husband is 5'8", 62 kilograms, and he has a net worth of $8 million. Okay, I think he probably has slightly less than her, and he's one of the first employees, I think, at Snapchat. I think that's where. But you just think to yourself, 5'8", 62 kilograms. But he's a handsome guy because he's kept himself in good shape. I'll bring up a picture. Like, he's kept himself in good shape. He's got low body fat. He's well groomed. He dresses well. He has a high net worth because he's worked really hard. He found a great opportunity. He's worked his way up in that company. He gets rewarded with a Victoria's Secret supermodel, even though he's only 5'8", 62 kilograms. Considered tiny. Considered tiny by most guys that are like going to the gym or whatever. Like, they would be like, oh, what a really small guy. He's dating a Victoria's Secret supermodel, and she's stunning. Like, I know I'm, like I said, I'm 6'2", a little nip slip for you there, guys. I know I'm like 6'2" and stuff, and I like go to the gym and I'm quite big, and guys will be like, oh, it's easy for you. I still just don't see it as a problem. Like, honestly, if I was like 5'8", 5'9", I'd be like, this is cool, this is fine. Like, I love my height, this is ideal. Like, it's perfect. Like, clothes fit really well, sizes are made for me. Like, I know guys are like, oh yeah, terrible. You can't find a t-shirt that fits. What a problem that must be. But it's like, you're not missing out on women either. Like, I've just laid out the evidence there. Like, most of these girls are dating, and like, if the average guy is like 5'9" globally, like, these girls are probably going to be dating somebody who's a little bit shorter. And usually when you're tall and good looking, you don't find success because you're just like, I don't really need to. I'm getting women. Like, life's easy. When you're like a shorter guy, or you have like no hair, or like you have faults, you have what would be considered flaws in this era, you tend to work harder, you tend to overcompensate in other areas, and then you become a better, more holistic man. I see that all the time, and that's usually why you get a 5'8", 62 kilogram, 8 million net worth employee, I think it's Snapchat, dating a Victoria's Secret supermodel. Because people would be like, oh, that guy's, oh, he's 5'8", he's finished. Oh, he's only like 62 kilograms. He's not big enough to date the hottest girls. He makes the best of himself, okay? He earns a ton of money, gets some great assets, probably a super intelligent guy, has worked on his appearance, wearing like expensive 3-4 grand suits, looking the absolute bollocks. Because he's in the position he's in, he's able to get invited to the Victoria's Secret parties and stuff. So when he's there, he has access to these women. That's like 90% of it, life setup and shit. So when he actually comes across this Jasmine woman, she's like, oh, I really like this guy. I'm getting on well with him. I've dated some like tall, great looking guys in the past. Didn't really work out. Let's give this guy a try. He seems fantastic. He's got all the traits I would want in like a potential father for my children, etc. That's the route that they're going down. Oh, he's wealthy, he's going to be able to provide if I'm pregnant and I'm not, I can't do this job forever, I'm not going to be beautiful forever, Victoria's Secret won't want me when I'm 60. Okay, I've got this guy, he's fantastic, I can really rely on him financially. Obviously she's got her own money, but she can rely on him financially if she needs to, for the kids, etc. Like, women's minds open up as they get older. It's not all about, at high school, who's got the biggest dick, who's the tallest, who's got the biggest muscles. It's like a lot of these things are a foot in the door. They allow you to open the door and say, hi, my name's, and get involved or have a chat with these women, But beyond that, if you don't have any substance behind you, if you're an absolute moron, if you can't hold a conversation with anybody, if you're like struggling with confidence and you can't hold eye contact, if you've got zero going on in the background in terms of like your success, your ambition, your motivation, what you're trying to achieve in life, these top level women aren't going to be interested in you, okay? So height is just like, I just think it's more of a bonus. It's just like it adds 10% extra to who you are. Oh, I want a guy 6 foot. That's women dreaming. Like, men say the same. I want a stunning Victoria's Secret supermodel. But most guys would probably settle for like a 5'4" stunning woman who's like an 8 out of 10 with a great personality, or a 7 out of 10 with a great personality, okay, when they get older. Like, every guy I know in my life wanted hotter women when they were younger than the woman that they have now. Does that make sense, guys? And a lot of it is people settling and whatever, but it's also a lot of the time you go, I really like her. She's got a great personality. We get on really well. These extra things come into your life, and a lot of guys that worry about height, they're not 35 years old. Okay, if you haven't worked on yourself, maybe you are. You feel quite insecure. But most guys who are worried about being short, worried about their height, they're usually like 16 years old, 14 years old, 18 years old. They don't know if they're going to get taller. They're panicking. Am I fully grown now? All the women around them are still very aesthetically based. Okay, they're looking for the tall, good-looking guy with the great genetics. Like, Like, I dated women when I was younger, and they're like, they'd be saying stuff like, oh, if we break up, I want to freeze your sperm because I want my kids to look like you or whatever. And you're like, okay, now that they're like 10 years older, I'm sure that they're dating, like, I don't know what they're up to, but I'm sure they're dating guys that they wouldn't have dated when they were younger. Like, guys that they wouldn't have found attractive when they were younger, but now they're like looking for completely different features. Like, everybody's type changes, and the girl at your high school who is ingrained that into your head that being short is bad, or the girl on TikTok who is now going, oh, if you're under 6 foot, don't talk to me, you know, that sort of shit, like that song, that little fucking thing that they're doing. I guarantee in 10 years time, or if she is older now, I guarantee if she's going nowhere in life, nothing's happening, she's not really, you know, killing it or anything like that, she's still like good looking, still beautiful, but nothing's really happened in her life, she hasn't really progressed or whatever. If you turned up with 200k in your bank, a great personality, well dressed, well groomed, etc., you could be short and bold, she's probably going to give you an opportunity. Okay, it's just things change when you get older, and that whole high school shit mentality of I'm short, oh fuck, my hairline's receded 1 inch, girls aren't going to ever want me. It's like, it all changes, guys. It all changes, and the quicker you get out of that high school mentality, the better, because otherwise you're going to be chasing something that no longer matters. Okay, like, oh, wait, think about it. When you're 16, like, what do? You go and get like certain hair products. Oh, my hair has to be like so and so from that band, like that K-pop band. All the girls seem to like him, or Harry Styles. I'm gonna make my hair like Harry Styles because girls love that sort of hairstyle. Okay, I'm gonna try really hard and focus on nothing but hair for 6 months. I'm gonna grow it out. I'm gonna put products in it. I'm gonna make sure I look fantastic. What clothes does he wear? Okay, I'm gonna save up. By the time you go through this whole fucking charade of trying to be Harry Styles, you get to like 25 years old and girls are now going, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm unemployed, but hey, I look like Harry Styles. And she'll go, yeah, great, but you're not him though, are you? Like, you've got to understand, like, when Justin Bieber shows up wearing shit clothes, looks a mess, looks fucking hungover with his hair everywhere, and girls are going, he's so hot. He's famous and rich. You're not. Okay, so there's a lot of shit, like, when you're chasing all this shit when you're young of like, I need to look like a boy band member, you've got to remember that as you get older, the whole game changes. It's that high school to adults life switch that I spoke about before, and it just keeps going. It's like a man at like 18 who's really good looking and unemployed, he's getting a ton of sex, okay? Like, girls are going to be like, oh, he's really cute, I believe in him, he's got potential, he's still figuring himself out, he's really fun on a night out, he's got a big dick, the sex is great. She'll get to 30, that same guy's unemployed, could still be handsome with a big dick and in great shape and whatever. She's going to be like, he's not really going anywhere. Like, it was cute when we were young, but now I just, like, lost interest. He's got no ambition. Like, where's this going? Like, am I just attracted to him because he's hot? Like, she starts questioning the same things that she used to love. The whole game changes, guys. So you young guys that are watching this, that are like, I'm short, my life's over, you shouldn't be focusing on the height. The height is just like such a small component. Like, let's focus on everything else. Like, I made that video recently and I said I went bald. I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I'm a worse version than I used to be. But of course I am. I'm the same guy, but I'm bald. Of course I'm going to look worse. My hair was propping me up, making me look better, as it does for 90% of guys. I then said, okay, I'm going to work very hard on my business. I'm going to become successful. Okay, tick. I'm better now. Okay. I'm going to get in the gym. I'm going to bulk up. I'm going to cut. I'm going to get down to like 10% body fat. I'm going to do facial exercises. I'm going to do submental exercises, give myself a nice jawline, take care of my skin, etc. Okay, I'm now a better version, even bald. Like, I'm bald, but I'm better than I was. Okay, so what now? Oh, well, I'm getting SMP in September. It's going to get all dotted in. I'm going to have a full head of hair again. Or full head of hair, you know what I mean? It's not real, but I'm going to look like I have a full head of hair, plus everything else that I built. Now, I wouldn't have built all of that if it wasn't for me going bald, because I probably would have been like, I can get away with it. I'm a handsome guy. It's the same with being short. You will overcompensate and you will build a better life so that when the game changes, it's usually with women like 24, 25, they start looking for more, okay? More than just big dick, great body, good looking guy. You know, they start looking for more than that. Or he drinks loads of beer and he's great on a night out and I love the way he dances. It's like, fuck all that. Can he provide for me and my kids? That's all that I really care about. When that switch happens, you'll be ready because you actually put the work in. The good-looking guys that are in shape naturally, whatever, that have the best genetics, they usually end up nowhere in life. And, you know, they date like a locally hot woman. You know, somebody who's like a 5 or 6 out of 10 on a local scale. But they're never going to reach the top level. Like, if you really want to get to the top level, success is probably the most important aspect in female eyes. Most women will look at success and be like, okay, his ability to provide is the most important thing to me. And then after that, do we get on? It's like with women. Is she hot? Do I find her attractive? Yes. Okay, now do we get on? For women, it's success. Is he not rich, but is he wealthy? Can he provide? Does he have a decent job? Okay, tick. I'll give him a chance. Now, do we get on? It's usually the main factor for them in terms of like, do I find him attractive? Just as with us, like, I personally don't really like women that don't have an arse and don't have lips. Everything else I couldn't really care about, but I kind of want them to have a decent arse and lips. I don't like thin lips. Just two things. Once they've ticked those two boxes, I'm like, okay, I'll get to know her now. And a lot of women, it's success, okay? They're not even looking at your height. It's a bonus, you know, past a certain age, okay, guys? So I just think, yeah, is it a slight problem? If you can even call it a problem, perhaps, okay? Is it being blown out of proportion and making guys feel insecure for no reason? 100%, okay? If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio.